Hey yo folks, Head of Wrestling is here and we've got a fresh episode of Smackdown straight from London. Hit the like button, subscribe and let's get started. The show opens with Cody Rhodes making his entrance and address the audience. He talks about his upcoming match at WrestleMania against John Cena, the man who is aiming to break the record and win his 17th world title. Cody also mentioned that in just a few days on Raw they will meet again. However, before he can finish his speech, Randy Orton's music hits, interrupting him. The crowd goes wild, though this reaction is no longer surprising. Orton takes a moment to look at the Cody Rhodes and reflect on how much he has changed. He recalls the days when Cody was just 20 years old, breaking into the business and working relentlessly to achieve success. Orton acknowledged that Cody had a tough time growing in WWE and made the bold decision to leave. Incredible guts to do everything what Cody did. You should have big balls to do everything what Cody did. When he returned, the industry had changed drastically. But Orton saw the same determined young man he knew years ago, the Cody Rhodes who always wanted to improve, to do whatever it took to succeed. Orton brings up Cody Hell in a Cell match against Seth Rollins, where he wrestled with a torn pectoral muscle and still won. He reminds everyone that Cody went on the finish and his greatest story in wrestling, but now he has a new story. Now he controls his own legacy and he's doing everything what is in his power to be the best of the best. Ultimately, Orton wants to say just one thing: he's incredibly proud of Cody. However, it's WrestleMania season. Orton promises that he will kick Kevin Owens' head off, while Cody will walk out in his championship still around his waist. But once Cena's 17th attempt is over, Orton will go for his 15th title reign. He won't take any cheap shot at Cody. He will look at his eyes and tell him directly that he wants this championship. Before anything else can happen, Drew McIntyre music hints. He laughs and the two Vanilla Boys exchanging compliments. He disagrees with the idea that Orton should be next in the line because Orton hasn't done anything since returning to earn the title shot. As for Cody, he should have listened to Drew's advice on how to respond to Rock, but instead he acted foolishly. The real main event should be Cody Rhodes vs Drew McIntyre, but now that won't happen. Drew finished by making it clear he will be the one who will take this championship. Orton tells Drew to shut up, but McIntyre continues, claiming that Kevin Owens was right. Orton may look good on the outside, but inside he's empty. As soon as Drew McIntyre starts talking trash to Cody, Rhodes attacks him. Orton of course goes for an RKO, but Drew dodged and quickly escapes. It was the end of this segment. The first match of the show was House Tag Team Battle of the Titles. The Street Profits faced Pretty Deadly. I'm glad that the guys finally got an opportunity to compete for the championship, though it was clean from the start and their chances of winning were slim. Despite this, I believe they will eventually capture the title in the near future because the crowd clearly loved them. The match followed the classic Smackdown style, where everything was executed at the highest level and everyone had their moment to shine. However, as I mentioned, predictably was key here, and things ended exactly as expected. The Street Profits successfully defended their title for now. Backstage, something happening with someone, who cares, everyone understands why I include this. Now let's move straight to the tag team women's match. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, yeah, they're still on SmackDown, faced Piper Niven and Alba Fire, who was wrestling in official gear, and I do not envy them one bit. The match turned out on the pretty bad. There was nothing particularly interesting except for the finish, where we're supposed to believe in babyface victory, but they managed to botch that moment. In any case, thanks for Chelsea Green, her teammates secured the win. After the match they continued beating down the losers, but Zelina Vega ran into the help. She tried to fight back, but in the end she got taken out too. We move on to another title match featuring LA Knight and Braun Strowman. As you can guess, the United States Championship was on the line. Honestly, I didn't expect much from this match, but in the end the wrestlers managed to surprise me. They actually have pretty good chemistry. Of course, we all understand that the match wouldn't last long, as right now all the focus on the storylines leading up to WrestleMania. At some point, Jake and Fatu stormed into the match and decide to destroy both competitors. I do enjoy how he wrecks everyone in his path, but I'm surprised that they seems to be setting up another multi-man match for Mania. I have my doubt about it, but it really feels like they're leading us in that direction. And out of everyone involved, Jacob Fatu stands out the most. Backstage, Solo Sikoa tries to reprimand Jacob Fatu for what he did, but instead, Fatu snaps and expresses his frustration over their action last week. Fatu then said that when it comes to Braun Strowman, he will be the last man standing, and doesn't matter if Sikoa will help him or no. We can see video was dedicated to Naomi, where she said that she has always done the right things, and attacking Jade Cargill was one of them. Yes, after everything that happened, she's the one being blamed. Naomi doesn't understand how Cargill from out of nowhere and suddenly became everyone's best friends, especially for Bianca Belair. She just can't comprehend how she was treated this way. She's tried to being betrayed because it keeps happening over and over again. Naomi will keep moving forward, but if Jade stands in her way, it won't end well for her. Backstage, Cargill demands that Aldis need to find Naomi, but she is not in this building tonight. She then runs into Beef Up and Machine, who understand her and fully support whatever she wants to do. Next, a match was set to take place with Naomi making her way to the ring along with Beef Up. However, Naomi attacked them from behind. She successfully took down her opponents, but of course Jade Cargill rushed into the chase her off. By the way, during Charlotte's entrance, we saw face-to-face with Jade Cargill, which means something big is coming soon. Now we move on the previous scheduled match, and I don't understand why they didn't just make a squash after the attack. Usually we don't see this happen, but they gave us a full match, even hearing that Charlotte might lose. But come on, who would actually believe that? Of course Charlotte won, and right after Stratton came out from backstage to throw a few good words to the challenger. You could say that we are moving on to one of the main event matches of the show, because in a sense this could easily take place at WrestleMania. Here we have Randy Orton facing Drew McIntyre, and what a great match they had, considering the fact that once again the storyline played a major role. They didn't get the chance to showcase everything they could because at one point Kevin Owens slowly made his way to the ring, distracting his WrestleMania opponent, which led to Orton losing after a Claymore kick from Drew McIntyre. Of course, right after that, Owens had to attack the Viper with a pile driver, but Orton managed to escape and almost hit a punk kick. However, Owens successfully got away just in time. We finally got to see Rey Fenix in all his glory, and it was officially announced that Penta's brother will make his debut on the next episode of Smackdown. Oh, we're definitely looking forward to that. Another one-on-one match, and this time we have The Miz and Jimmy Uso. Essentially, Jimmy needs to portray a strong ahead of his match against Gunther, and The Miz seems like a good opponent for that. Everything here was done is very classic style, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they had this match before, because it feels like a copy-paste performance. It wasn't bad, but it didn't really stand out either. Of course, Jimmy Uso picked up the win tonight and reminded Gunther after the match that he would beat him on Raw. Yeah, sure. Backstage, Drew McIntyre gives an interview bragging about how great he is and how he defeated Randy Orton tonight. Just as he was about to leave the arena, he was confronted by Damian Priest, and the brawl broke out using everything they could get their hands on. In the end, Priest hit his finisher right into the car windshield. Later, as CM Punk was heading to his segment at what happened to Drew. So we have reached the final segment of the show, where Roman Reigns was the first to make his entrance. The crowd was chanting his name, and even Paul Heyman joined it and started singing. First of all, he was here for two things: to be acknowledged by everyone, and the second was to sign the contract, which he went ahead and did. He wanted to say something else, but he was interrupted by Seth Rollins' entrance. Rollins even held the mic up to Heyman, but he refused to thank them. Seth then spoke about how much history they had with this arena. 12 years ago they landed on the rooftop on the building in the helicopter. They put the Undertaker through the table, but a lot of time has passed since then, and they've been through love and hate. Reigns interrupted him, saying that Seth was using "we" too much. All of that in the past, now he stands alone. He alone made things they are today. But what has Seth done? Roman Reigns betrayed him, and there was so much that happened between them, but now they needed to focus on real piece of crap in their rivalry. Rollins said he couldn't deal with CM Punk because of Reigns, but now his hands were untied, and he would do what Roman never could: clean this company of CM Punk. It felt like a challenge to best in the world, and said he came here to chew gum and sign the contract. Well, the gum was already chewed, so he decided to read the contract instead. While he was reading speaking, Reigns mocked him, offering him a marquee and talking trash. Then he sent Heyman to speak. Paul told him that he knew what Punk was looking for, and it was in the contract. "You will be in the main event of WrestleMania," Paul said. Punk's dream was come true. CM Punk would be in the main event of biggest show ever. That makes Rollins angry, while Roman Reigns just was laughing. Punk was in tears, but Rollins insisted that it shouldn't happen because Phil didn't deserve it, and he blamed Roman for making it happen. Punk, however, first thanked all the fans who had chanting his name for the past 10 years. It was because of them that he was here today. Reigns, however, said that Punk should be thankful him because it was thanks to Reigns that he was getting this opportunity. Then Punk sit on his knee and of course thanked the tribal chief, the owner of the Ulafala, the head of the table and the big dog. No matter what he said, he was still going to the main event. CM Punk thanked everyone but mentioned that this wasn't the favor Heyman should be doing before the show went off the air. Things are getting more and more interesting. Could we really be seeing how Heyman is moving from Roman Reigns to CM Punk? Share what you think about it in comments, but for now it's time to wrap up. Have a great day and see you next time. Bye bye.